Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2022 drama film, mystery film, Death on the Nile. So this stars Kenneth Branagh, Gal Gadot, Emma Mackey, a slew of other people are in this. This is based on the best-selling book of the same name. I read into this that a lot of the book fans were not happy with the film because a lot of the characters in the film are combined characters from the book. And I find that weird. So I know this film is compared to Murder on the Orient Express a lot. And I really like that film. I saw that film 5 years ago. The one and only time I saw that, it was on an airplane from New York to Los Angeles. My brother and I were going, we did a brother's trip to Los Angeles, to Southern California. And I watched it en route. I watched that and then Third Maze Runner. And I haven't seen them since because I've been waiting to review them. But now I feel like I gotta watch and review Murder on the Orient Express because this Death on the Nile is compared to that a lot. Now that film I remember liking because it was fun and it kept you guessing and it was interesting. This film, Death on the Nile, and again I never read the book, so I can't compare the book story to the film story. I can only speak on the story that presented to us in the film. It's a 2-hour-long film. It is so boring. It's like watching paint dry. And then we eventually lead up to the last 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes are fine. The last 20 minutes are great. The last 20 minutes are okay. If you did this at this point, that person could have done that at that point, and that clue leads to this person. So it's not just one death. It's not just 2 deaths. It's 3 deaths and stuff. So what happened? Is one person responsible for all 3 deaths? Who did what when? And then the aftermath of the murder-suicide at the end, that was the twisting turning point of how everybody's going to get away, but not get away because they're dead. So I liked the resolution, but getting to the resolution was so agonizingly, painfully boring. And it's unfortunate because you have great talented people in this. It's based on a best-selling book, and it has a fandom to it. It has a classic literature fandom to it. So everybody who's a fan of that wants to see it represented properly. The other thing that I'm noticing is the cinematography was great. The costuming was fantastic. It took place in the 1930s throughout different parts of the world, primarily in Egypt. And it was neat seeing, the ancient Egyptian ruins as a 1930s person would see it, because it's still an ancient ruin all of these 80, 90 years later. So it's interesting how time is. Time is very weird. So I appreciated that historical aspect to it within talking about a linear timeline. But it was boring. It was boring. It was boring. It's unfortunate. It was boring. I really hoped that it would be exciting and draw me into it and me try to piece together the clues. And honestly, I didn't care. I didn't care. As we were going on, I'm like, how it's just so dry. It's boring. It was just blah. Not blah in the throw up, I'm disgusted, but meh. That's the better word. Meh. Not meh, but meh. I didn't like it. Can't win them all. What are we going to do? On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.